Brilliant, brilliant. So this one was inspired, unsurprisingly, as you know, by a podcast. And I was listening to one of my faves, The Happy Pair, those two very lively Irish guys, and they were interviewing. Do you remember Elle Macpherson, the body, the so-called body from the 1980s? She was a supermodel, an Australian supermodel. And she was on the podcast because she's now entered the wellness industry. She does a brand of products. But she was talking about, very honestly, about her own journey as a model. And she was an addict. I don't know whether it was to drugs or alcohol or maybe both, living the lifestyle. And she's been sober now for many years. But she was talking about all of that and how yoga and meditation and, kind of embracing that lifestyle has really helped her. And she came up with a beautiful quote, and I was listening to the podcast, I was driving, and I was desperate to write this quote down so I remembered it. So it's by, it's a Taoist quote, and the quote is, "No one can see their reflection in running water. It's only in still water that we can see." And it really made me think about the lives, myself included, that many of us lead, in that we fill our days, our weeks with busyness. We like to be busy, we like to be doing. And that's no bad thing in itself. You know, we've got responsibilities, we've got work, we have things that we need to do. But I think sometimes it can be a distraction. It can be used almost as a painkiller, that we surround ourselves with busyness instead of sitting with ourselves and having to face uncomfortable feelings. And I've started a meditation practice. I do it every day now, and it's really challenging to be still and to be quiet and to sit with yourself, and whatever it is that bubbles up, you have to acknowledge, you have to deal with. And yoga gives us the opportunity. We might not be still necessarily in our bodies, although we might incorporate that within our practice, but it certainly gives us the opportunity to quieten the mind. And again, to kind of sit with those things that we might otherwise suppress and push down, or drown out the noise with our busy lifestyles. So see if you can find a moment of quiet today. I thought that was a lovely quote. It's a very, very good interview, very interesting. So we're going to start lying down today. So ease your way down. If you want to pop something underneath your head or underneath your bottom, go ahead and give your knees a squeeze. Oh, I'm going to be a bit achy. The cobbled streets of Honfleur have got to me. So maybe have a little massage across your low back. And then just arrive in a comfortable position for you this morning. By all means, if your back feels a little tight or still early in the day, then keep your knees bent. Maybe widen your feet and let your knees rest against each other. Or you can stretch the legs out. The feet about hip width apart. Maybe have a little roll across your heels. And then just see if you can come to a place of stillness there. So get all of that fidgeting and those little kind of micro adjustments out of the way, the lifting of the hips, the tucking of your chin in, the moving of any uncomfortable clothes out of the way. And then see if you can find a little moment in your day where you can be still, where you can begin to withdraw into yourself. We can drop out of all of that busyness. That, like I say, I'm as guilty of it as the next person. It feels nice to be busy sometimes, nice to be of service and to be doing things, but let's just take a moment for ourselves now. So as you begin to allow the body to settle, just noticing what comes up in your mind, what thoughts begin to bubble up to the surface as we allow the body to just rest for a moment. Let those thoughts come and go as they will, both now and throughout the practice. And that journey of meditation that goes hand in hand with our yoga. It's not about ridding ourselves of thoughts. It's not about emptying our mind. It is finding that still water so we can look at those thoughts objectively. And then let them go. And it's a trick I'm trying to master. Just acknowledging whatever's going on today, be it a physical injury that you're nursing, or maybe it's emotional or energetic that you're having to be mindful of today. So wherever you are, let your practice meet you where you need to be today. So keeping the legs exactly as they are, let's just reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Take a nice breath in. And as you breathe out, just bring the arms all the way back behind you if you can, or keep them pointing up towards the ceiling. You breathe in, bring them all the way back up to the sky. And exhale down to the floor. A couple more times, inhaling up, you can stay there. Or exhale, continue that journey behind you. Inhaling, reaching skywards. And exhale down. Let's do that one more time. So inhaling, reaching up. And this time, reach the arms out behind you. If that's too much on your shoulders, you can always take them out to the side or pop a little bend in the elbows. And if your knees are bent, let's all straighten the legs out. So we'll find ourselves in a lovely full body stretch. We can have a little wiggle and a jiggle there. See if we can create a little bit more space in the hips, in the side body. And then again, find that moment of stillness as you stretch out through the feet, finding as much space between your fingertips and your heels as you can. And then let's give the right knee a nice squeeze in towards your chest. Go ahead and bend up the other knee if you need to. With that right knee hugged up, go ahead and just squeeze and release. Squeeze and release that knee towards you a few times, making sure the shoulders stay relaxed and the face stays soft. Now keeping that knee squeezed in, soften the shoulders away from the ears, take an inhale. And as you exhale, bring your nose towards your knee. If that's too much, keep your head and shoulders on the floor this morning. Tuck the elbows in, chin tucked in. We're going to take that left leg all the way up to the sky. You can always lower your head and shoulders back down. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, flex the foot and hover that left heel off the floor. So inhale, point the toes, bring your head and shoulders down if this is too much. And exhale again, lengthen that leg all the way down. Heel hovers one more time, inhaling up. Exhaling, pausing, heel hovering, stretching the heel away. And then lower the heel, lower the head, lower the shoulders. Left hand onto your right knee. Just let that right arm fall alongside you as you come into a twist. Let's carry that right knee across the body. Maybe turn your head in the opposite direction, just coming into a nice, easy twist this morning. Lovely, coming all the way back up. Let's stretch out both arms, both legs, coming back to that lovely full body stretch again. Have a little bit of movement, a little bit of intuitive stretching and creating space. And then we'll try that on the other side. So left knee comes in this time. Go ahead and bend the other knee if you need to. And again, we'll squeeze and release. Squeeze and release of that knee in towards your chest. And knowing that you can keep your head and shoulders on the floor, if you're with me, take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, lift your head, lift your shoulders, coming up nose towards your knee. And then we'll see if we can take that right leg this time all the way up towards the sky. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, flex the foot, heel hovers off the floor. So point the toes, inhale, sweep the leg up. You can always lower your head and shoulders. And exhale, heel hovers. Lovely. One more time, inhaling, waking up that core. Exhaling, hover the heel, hover the heel. See if you can lift your nose towards your knee a little higher. And then lower the heel, lower the head, lower the shoulders. Woo! Right hand on left knee. Let's come into a little twist on the other side. So you can always bring that left arm up level with your shoulder or just rest it down by the side of the body there. Lovely. Rolling onto your back, keeping that left knee hugged in. Bring the right knee up to join it. With one hand on each knee, knees together or slightly apart. Have a little circle there in one direction. Guiding the knees round. Let your heels just drop heavily down towards your bottom. And then change direction. So lower leg, nice and heavy. And then deciding how energetic you feel as to how you want to come up to seated. So you can roll to one side or roll up through the spine and come into a comfortable seated position. I'm going to sit cross-legged, but you never have to. Sitting up nice and tall there. Pop something underneath your sit bones if you need to lift your hips a little bit. Let's split the arms up, take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, push the palms away and drop your chin down towards your chest. Love it. So inhaling, palms up, maybe lift your chin. Maybe the arms reach, only coming up as high as comfortable with the arms. And exhale, chin to chest. Push the palms away. Lovely, one more time, inhale. And this time as you exhale, bring the right hand down and the left arm over the top. Lovely, inhale through the middle. And exhale over to the other side. You can always really bend that top elbow if the shoulder feels a little tight. Let's do one more each way. You can tuck your chin in and look up, or keep the gaze down. One more. Over to the other side. Beautiful. Let's reach both arms all the way up. Grow really tall through the side body. Beautiful. And then swing the hands behind you. You're going to lean into your hands and separate your feet. So your knees, I'll point this way actually. Your knees point up towards the sky. Feet maybe hip width or even wider. You can turn your fingertips away from you or towards you. Just find comfort for the shoulders. But rather than sinking into your shoulders there, think about lifting the chest all the way up. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, just let the knees drop to the right and maybe look to the left. So you do this sometimes lying on the floor. Inhale to center. Keep the chest lifted as you swap sides. So a little windshield wiper action from side to side, rolling across your heels. Keep pressing into your hands as you lift the chest. Now feel free to carry on doing this. So next time you come over to the right, pause. Bring your body all the way around to the right and then turn towards the back of your mat, seeing if you can bring your hands side by side. So it's a deep, deep twist. Lovely. Let's come all the way back. Hands behind you. Take a little windshield wiper side to side, keeping the chest lifted. That's a good one, that one, isn't it? This time we'll come to the left. So either continue to move the legs or move the body all the way around to the left and turn towards the back of your mat and see if you can, again, bring your hands side by side as you come into a deep twist there. That'll rinse things out. And then we'll come all the way back through the middle, cross one ankle over the other and give yourself a nice big hug. Beautiful. Lift your chest, swap the ankles, and again, wrap yourself up, envelop yourself in that big hug. And then find your way round onto all fours, bringing the hands onto the shoulders and the knees underneath your hips there. So take a moment to spread your fingers nice and wide. And just press into your hands, lock the elbows there, but just feel that you're pressing the ground away. So again, we're keeping the shoulders nice and safe there. Let's come into our cat and cow. Lovely familiar movements here. So inhale, you stretch the belly forwards as you lift your tailbone up. And then exhale like an angry cat, round on up. Just continue now to move with your breath. Maybe close the eyes. We know what we're doing here. We know we can widen the hands if you need a bit more space this morning. That's nice if the shoulders feel tight or if your chest feels tight. Keep pressing down into your hands. One more with the chest coming forwards, cow pose. Inhale, exhale, find that angry cat shape and just pause there for a moment, pressing the hands down. Maybe have a little swing of the hips side to side, ear coming to shoulder if you want to. Just increase that stretch into the side of the body. Beautiful. And then we'll come back onto all fours. I'm going to come round to face you. I'll do that in a second. I'm just getting myself thinking about lefts and rights and mirroring you. Let's stretch the right leg back behind you. You're going to lift the leg up and point the toes up towards the sky. Lovely. Keep pressing into your hands as you inhale. And as you exhale, knee to chest, nose to knee, round the back. So inhale, lift the toes, lift your chest. And exhale, knee to chest, nose to knee. Now I'll turn around. Inhale. Lovely. And exhale. Lovely. One more time. So keep pressing into your hands. Keep the shoulders safe. Beautiful. We're going to, knee comes all the way up. Lovely. We're going to take that leg all the way back behind you. Bring the ball of the foot to the floor and just rock backwards and forwards. Lovely. We're going to cross right leg over left leg. Coming onto the ball of the foot there. And just draw that left shoulder back. Push out through the right heel and see if you can create some space on the side of the body there. Beautiful. And bring the gaze forward. So we're going to take that right leg all the way out to the right, lining up your big toe roughly with your knee there. So left hand is going to come down by your left knee. You're going to sweep that right arm all the way up, opening up into a lovely side bend. And then bring both hands back down underneath your shoulders. Now, option just to round your back like an angry cat, or round your back like an angry cat, tuck your left toes under and send your bottom back towards your heels, coming into a stretch. Not all knees will like that, so keep the weight forwards. Bring the weight forwards, left hand by your knee. Inhale, sweep the right arm up and over. And exhale, bring the hands down, round the back, or bottom comes to left heel. Moving with the breath. Inhale, shift the weight forwards. Right arm stretches up. And exhale, hands come down. Maybe move the bottom back. Lovely. Let's do that one more time. So inhale. Lovely side stretch. And exhale. Beautiful. This time we'll bring the left hand by the knee. We're going to take that right arm all the way up. You can reach the arm up or stretch it by your ear. We've got the option to lift that top leg. Lovely. Stretching heel and fingertips away. Beautiful. Bring the leg down. Let's bring both hands underneath the shoulders. Take that right leg all the way back behind you. Ball of foot to floor. Stay there. Rock back and forth. Or push up into your first downward dog. So if your shoulders are feeling tight today, by all means stay on all fours and just keep that right leg extended. If you're with me in downward dog, have a little pedal out through the feet there. And then we'll try that on the other side. So coming back down onto all fours, flattening the feet, give your wrist a little shake if you need to. And we'll try that with the left leg. So we'll take the left leg back. And as you lift the leg, try not to dip in the middle. So really firm up through the belly as you lift the leg and point the toes up towards the sky. Tiger. Inhale, look forwards, lift the toes. Exhale, round the back, knee to chest, nose to knee. How close can you get? Inhale. And exhale, really shorten the distance between your nose and your knee as you press into your hands. Inhale. And exhale, lovely. One more time, inhale. And exhale. You're going to take that left leg all the way back behind you. Ball of foot comes down to the floor. And we cross left foot over right foot. Push the heel away. Look over your shoulder and draw that right shoulder back. So you're pushing the left heel away from you this time and looking towards the back of your mat. Lovely. We'll bring the head to center. This time we'll take that left leg out to the side. So you're roughly lining up your big toe with your knee. And then we'll bring right hand by your right knee. This time you take that left arm all the way up. If you don't want to bring it across the top of the head, you just reach up towards the sky. Look. And then both hands come down underneath the shoulders. Remember, you can just round your back like an angry cat or tuck the right foot under and send your bottom back towards your heel. It might not touch. Right hand by the knee. Inhale, take the left arm up, hips come forwards. And exhale, bring the hands down and maybe move the hips towards the right knee. Shift the weight forwards. Inhale as you take that side stretch. And exhale, you might feel an inner thigh stretch as you shift the weight back. Lovely. Let's do one more of each. Inhale, reaching up and over or simply up towards the sky. And exhale, moving the bottom back. Let's find that lovely side stretch again. So you can reach up. You can reach the arm alongside your ear, lift your ear towards your upper arm and maybe lift that top leg. So again, creating space between fingertips and heel. Lovely. Let's lower the foot. Bring the hands back underneath you. And you can stay there and just keep the leg extended and roll back and forth. Or again, take a little downward dog and have a pedal out through the feet, maybe a little shake of the head. Beautiful. Let's drop down onto all fours as you inhale. And as you exhale, flatten your feet, take a child pose. Reach the arms in front of you. Maybe try this little variation of child pose. Try turning your palms up towards the sky and see if that releases into your shoulders. You might have to take the elbows slightly out to the side there. Whatever variation of arms works for you. If you don't like having your palms up, then palms down. I just find it kind of relaxes across the shoulders there. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, coming back onto all fours. And from all fours, taking downward dog, or simply stay on all fours today. If you're in that downward dog, can you think about really bending your knees and pressing your rib cage back towards your heels. Create as much space in the side body as you can. And then maybe you keep the knees bent, or you start to straighten the heels straight down towards the mat, not skewing in or out. Take a nice deep breath in and a nice release out. So bending your right knee, so get a nice stretch in that left leg. Let's take the right leg all the way up towards the sky. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, step that foot forwards. And we're going to lower the back knee. So bringing both hands onto that right knee, we're going to lift the chest, coming up into our lunge. And imagine your right heel and your left knee are squeezing towards one another. So feel that kind of inner work between the legs there. Arms are going to lift up. And bending the elbows, take hold of your forearms or your elbows. Press the elbows up, lift the chest, take an inhale. As you exhale, take your side bend over to one side, it doesn't matter which. Inhale to center. And exhale, other direction. And then just continue now just to move the body from side to side. Seeing if you can keep the elbows pressing up towards the sky. When you come back to the middle this next time, let's reach both arms up, take an inhale. And as you exhale, bring the hands down, frame the foot. Lifting the chest, take an inhale. Move the hips back into your hamstring stretch, your half monkey as you exhale. Now again, you can rock back and forth with the breath if your hamstrings feel super tight. Or join me, holding that pose, maybe sliding the front heel away, putting the toes towards your face. Swing the hips back to the middle of the mat, maybe take an inhale as you lift. And exhale, see if you can fold over that leg. Remember, you can always keep the chest high if this fold feels a little bit too much on your hamstring today. Wherever you are, again, find that moment of stillness. Beautiful. And then let's lift the chest, bend the front knee, plant the hands, and we'll step back into your downward dog or all fours. Ready for our first little vinyasa. So as you inhale, let's roll the body forwards to a plank this morning. Just pausing there as you press into your hands and then lower your knees and lower your chest all the way down to the floor. Bringing the arms down alongside you with your palms flat to the floor, little locust variation. Press down into your hands and the tops of the feet as you lift your chest. And try and make as much space between your chest and the floor as you can, chin tucked in. Beautiful. Go ahead and lift your legs if that feels comfortable on your back today. Stretching the toes away. So if you can lift everything a little bit higher as you inhale. And as you exhale, lower down. Let's push our way back onto all fours. And from there, back up into your downward dog or stay on all fours. Again, a little bend in the knees, that pressing of your rib cage towards your thighs, your bottom and your hips go up and back. You lengthen the side of the body and then maybe the heels can begin to descend. Roll those inner elbows in towards each other as you press your hands forwards and down. And then we'll just bend the left knee and stretch through the right heel. And then float the left leg up. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, step or help it forward. Woo, top of the mat. And lower that back knee. I'm going to untop my toes for stability. Both hands on that left knee. So it's very easy if you're mobile in the hips to kind of just hang out there. So imagine again that that front heel and your knee is slicing towards one another. So we've got the work between the inner thighs. Arms lift up. Bending the elbows, catch hold of elbows or forearms. And now swap the arm on top, because I bet we've all done the same arm. Take an inhale. Exhale, take that little dip over to one side. Oh, I know, we're creatures of habit. Inhale to center. Over to the other side as you exhale. And just do a little tick-tock from side to side, just keeping the forearms pressing up the side of the body nice and long. A little bit of balance there as well. Let's reach the arms up towards the sky, breathing in. Breathing out, hands come down. Now, you can keep the back toes flat or you can tuck them under. It really is up to you. Lift your chest, take an inhale. Slide the hips back as you exhale. And again, if you want to just rock back and forth with your breath this morning, you're welcome to do that. Or pause and hold, maybe again lifting the toes up towards your face. If you want a little bit more, take an inhale, lift the chest. And exhale to fold on down. So just let the head go. When you look towards the back of your mat, you can see if your hips are going to wandering to the right side of your mat. Just swing them back to center. Lovely. Again, just finding a little bit of stillness there. And then we'll bend the front knee, plant the hands, pick up the back knee, downward dog, or come onto all fours. Choice is yours. Rolling the body forwards to a plank as you inhale, pressing into your hands. Exhale, knees down, chest down. Let's try a little cobra this time. So hands can be alongside the shoulders or a little wider today. And inhale, lift your chest. Maybe taking your gaze straight forwards as you find your cobra. Let's roll our way back down. Lovely. And find our way back onto all fours. So we're going to start a little flow today. So I've got something in my eye. So see how we go. You can take it as much or as little as you want. If you need to stop and find a moment of stillness in child pose, feel free. Let's all find our way to downward dog or simply stay on all fours today. Choice is yours. So a little moment of our sun salutes, little variation moving with our breath. We're going to start with the right leg. So as you inhale, let's float the right leg up behind you. And as you exhale, step it forwards and lower the back knee. Hook right thumb over left thumb. And as you inhale, arrow the arms up. And as you exhale, we'll swim the hands down. Stepping to the top of the mat. Inhale into your flat back. And exhale to fold. Let's rise up to stand, sweeping the arms out and up, breathing in. Hands coming down to heart. Exhale. All the way up, reaching skywards, take an inhale. And the hinging forwards as you exhale. Lift it up halfway. Lengthen the chest, inhale. Exhale, right leg steps back, lowering the knee. Right thumb on top. Inhale, reach up. Imagine you're pulling the thumbs apart. And exhale, swim the hands down. And pick up the back knee. And as you inhale, come into your plank or all fours. And as you exhale, knees lifted or lowered, yogi's choice, down onto your tummy. Finding your cobra, take an inhale. And as you exhale, downward dog or all fours, choice is yours. Take a nice deep breath in here. And a nice deep breath out. I'm going to try that on the other side. Left leg lifting, take an inhale. Exhale, step it forwards, top of the mat. And we're going to lower the knee. Left thumb on top this time. Inhale, pulling those thumbs apart. Lift the chest. Exhale, swim the hands down. Stepping to that flat back at the top of your mat. Take an inhale. And exhale to fold. Rise on an inhale. Sweep the arms up. And keeping the chest lifted, hands to heart. Beautiful. Inhaling up. Lift your chest, maybe lift your gaze. Exhale, come all the way down. Fingertips to floor, shins or thighs, lift up halfway, take an inhale. Left leg, slide or step it back. And lower the knee. Left thumb on top, inhale. And exhale, let's come all the way down. Pick up the back knee, and as you inhale, send that other leg back into a plank. And exhale down onto your belly. Find your cobra, your back bend of choice. Maybe take a little locust. And as you exhale, let's find our downward facing dog. Again, take a nice deep breath in. If you need to take a child pose, feel free. Do one more round each way. See if we can move now straight into right side, then left side. So right leg lifts, take an inhale. And as you exhale, step or help it forwards. Lower the knee, hook the thumbs. Right thumb on top. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale as you release. Stepping forwards, top of the mat. Inhale. And exhale to fold. Keep the knees soft. Power up through the legs. Inhale. Hands coming to heart. Breastbone to thumbs. Lovely. Reaching up, take an inhale. Maybe a little back bend this time. Pulling the thumbs back. And as you exhale, hinging forwards, bending the knees as much as you need to, lifting up halfway, take an inhale, and sliding that right leg back, take an exhale, lower the knee, right thumb on top, inhale, and exhale, release. Sending the leg back into a plank as you inhale, and exhale, lowering down. Remember, you can use your knees, finding your back bend, maybe a little upward dog this time as you squeeze your bottom. And then coming up into your downward facing dog. Other side, left leg, float it up and back. Last time, exhale, step it forwards and drop the back knee. Left thumb on top, so you hook the thumbs. Imagine you're putting those thumbs apart. You wake up the upper back and then come all the way down. Stepping to the top of the mat as you inhale into your flat back and folding down, exhale. Let's rise on up on an in-breath. Hands coming down to heart. Exhale, beautiful. Last time through, inhale. And exhale to fold. Maybe legs feeling a little warmer now. Lifting up halfway, so really bring the chest forwards. And then slide or step left leg back and lower the knee. Last time, left thumb on top. Inhale. And exhale to release. Picking up the knee, inhale into plank. Keep the shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, shift the weight forwards and down. Use your knees. Finding your back bend. It might be a cobra, it might be upward dog, it might be just lying on your belly. We'll all meet in a downward dog. In your downward dog, let's all come back down onto all fours, flattening your feet. Take a moment of ease in that child pose of choice. Again, maybe flicking your palms up, easing the shoulders, resting one hand on top of the other. Again, just allowing the breath to settle, allowing whatever bubbles up to bubble up. Beautiful. And when you're ready, let's find our way back onto all fours. Now, any shoulder issues, feel free just to move with your breath here rather than hold the pose. So making sure your hands are right underneath your shoulders. Then take your right arm up towards the sky, peeling the chest open. Lovely, take an inhale. And as you exhale, feed that arm underneath for our thread needle. So inhale, bring the weight forwards as the arm lifts. So you might just be lifting the arm level with your shoulder rather than up towards the sky. Inhale. This time as you exhale, we're going to feed the arm underneath. Come onto the top of the right shoulder, but before you bring your head down, just bring your head forwards a little and then bring it down. So if this is too much on your shoulders, feel free to keep moving with the breath. So press into that left hand, see if you can lean a little bit more over to that right shoulder. Now lots of options here. If you're feeling a little bit wibbly wobbly, you can keep the hand by your face. And just stay exactly as you are. Or if you want a little bit more, slide the left leg back behind you, keep the ball of the foot on the floor. If you want a little bit more, raise that left arm up towards the sky, opening the chest. If you're feeling super brave and are prepared to take the risk of wobbling over, lift the left leg and stretch it away from you. So you're working the core. So left leg and left arm lifted. Woo! Bring the hand back by your face. Bring both knees back underneath you. Let's press into that left hand. Sweeping the right arm up. Woo! Anyone brave enough? And bring the hands down. Take an inhale, lift your chest, lift the tailbone. And exhale, angry cat. Should we try that on the other side? It's like a weeble wobble, but sometimes we fall down, don't we? So let's take the left arm open. Open up through the chest, take an inhale. Exhale as you feed the arm underneath. So yeah, you've got to be prepared to wibble wobble in that one. Inhale. And exhale. I know I certainly do. Should we do that one more time? Inhale. So feel free to keep moving with your breath, or this time we'll slide the arm underneath. And again, before you bring your head down, bring your head forward, so create more space between your ear and your shoulder. And then take a moment to settle yourself into that pose. So we're not resting on the ear, it's just above your ear. And then sliding the weight a little bit further over to the left. And you can stay exactly as you are. Pressing into that underneath arm a little bit more deeply for stability. You can slide the right leg back behind you if that feels good. And maybe again, if you're feeling strong and brave, you maybe reach that right arm up. But if you want to know your limits and say, this is enough on this side, I'm going to stay here, that's fine. And then press into that underneath arm, maybe lift that right leg. Whoa, I feel wibbly wobbly on this side. Lovely. Shall we quit while we're ahead? Bring the hand down. Bring both knees underneath you. And reach that left arm up one last time. And then bring both hands underneath you. Inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. And exhale, angry cat. Tucking the toes under. Inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. And this time as you exhale, let's push the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. From your downward dog, walk your hands back towards your feet. At the top, at the back of your mat, sorry. So allow the body to fold over the legs, maybe cradle opposite elbows again and have that little swing from side to side if that feels good. And then letting the arms go, let's roll ourselves up super slow, let the head come up last. So we don't get that horrible giddy feeling. Ooh, sweep the arms up, take an inhale. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Let's do that one more time, getting ourselves acquainted to being upright. Inhale. And exhale, lovely. So we're going to come to the top of the mat, but we're going to get there by a series of balances. So let's make life difficult for ourselves, shall we? A little bit of a challenge. So again, doing as much or as little as you wish today. Let's keep the hands together at the heart. So if you can keep your gaze forwards rather than down. As you step your right foot forwards, and just come onto the ball of the back foot, feel a little lightness there and a softness in the front knees. There's a real kind of buoyancy in the legs. Option, you just stay there. Maybe you're shifting the weight a little into that front foot. Maybe you can lift and lower that back leg. Or maybe you want to keep the back leg lifted, begin to hinge forwards, coming into your warrior three. So lots of options. If you're joining me in warrior three, chest is parallel to the mat, really stretch out through the ball of the back foot. Hands can stay at the heart or maybe reach them out level with your shoulders. Or if you're feeling super strong, bring the arms forwards alongside your ears. That's strong, so be mindful. Wherever you are, bring the hands back to your heart and step both feet underneath you as you come back to upright. Sweep both arms out and up, take an inhale. Exhaling, hands to heart. How did that go, team? We've only got one more side. So again, trying to keep the gaze forwards rather than down. Let's step your left foot forwards this time, no rush. So just come onto the ball of the back foot, feel that nice buoyancy in the front knee. And again, you might just lift and lower that back leg, just practicing your balance. That might be more than enough today. We'll start to keep that back leg lifted. Hinging forwards, it might be a little way. You might again bring the chest forwards parallel to the floor as you kick out through the ball of the foot. You might reach the arms out to the side. You might reach the arms forwards alongside the ears. That's strong on the back, so be mindful of whatever's going on. And then from there, hands to heart, bring both feet underneath you. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart. You just come to the other side so I can mirror you. So bringing the hands onto your hips. Let's just see if we can find a little bit of balance here. Just bend your right knee and just lift that that right heel up. And that might be where you want to stay. Just notice if you dip the hips and see if you can keep the hips relatively level there. You might stay there or go ahead and give that knee a squeeze, holding in front or behind the knee as you lift your knee to your chest, not your chest to your knee. Flex the foot. Maybe you can reach both arms up towards the sky, coming into that one-legged mountain pose. Lovely, take an inhale. And as you exhale, take a big step back, bring the hands to the hips as you find your warrior two. So you're turning that right foot to the long edge of the mat. And then let's reach the arms out. So equal energy through the front and the back foot, and equal energy through the arms as well. That back arm sometimes is an afterthought, so just reach out as you look over your front fingertips. Beautiful, take an inhale. And as you exhale, see if you can sink a little bit deeper. Beautiful. Lifting that front palm up, reach up and back into our peaceful warrior. Now we're going to straighten the front leg and tick-tock the arms up and over into our triangle. So that right arm reaches up and the left arm just touches down on your shin or your thigh. We're going to move between the two. So as you inhale, we're going to bend the knee, left arm comes all the way up and back into our peaceful warrior. And as you exhale, straighten the leg. Right arm comes straight up to the sky as the body hinges forwards. Lovely. Inhale, bend the knee. Sweeping that left arm up. And exhale, find that triangle. Lovely. We're going to do one more. Inhale as you bend the front knee. Again, equal energy through both feet. And this time we're going to hold our triangle. So you might bring that left hand onto your thigh, your shin. You might have the back of the hand resting on the inside of the leg. Go ahead and forget that top arm if it's paining the shoulder. Gaze might be up or down. We've got one last option here as you inhale. As you exhale, bring that top arm alongside your ear and try and stretch your fingertips away from your hip. Crown of head and tailbone, reaching in opposite directions. Beautiful. Bend the front knee. Come back into your warrior two. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, take a windmill of the hands down and a little pivot on the back foot. Left arm lifts, sorry guys, left arm. Take a twist, take an inhale. And as you exhale, bring the hand down. Let's step to a flat back at the top of the mat as you breathe in and breathe out to fold. Rise up to stand. And exhale, hands to heart. I'm quite impressed I've only made one mistake with my left and rights this time. I've done my yoga every day, but I've not taught, obviously. It takes a while to get back into that mirroring mode. So let's try that on the other side, hands to hips. So this time left heel lifts, so rather than kind of sinking into the other hip, see if you can keep relatively strong through that standing leg. It's a really good hip strengthener there. And feel free to stay there or go ahead and give that knee a squeeze. You might have to lean forwards to catch your knee, but then see if you can rise back up as you bring your knee towards your chest. You might stay there, or a final option, flex the foot, reach both arms up, that one-legged mountain pose. Beautiful. We're going to take an inhale. Exhale, hands to hips as we take the left leg back this time. Ready for your warrior two. So go ahead and take those little fidgets through the feet. And again, equal energy through the feet. It's like you want to push the mat apart with your legs now as you reach the arms out again. Equal energy through the arms as you reach that long through the fingertips, gazing over that front arm. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, see if you can sink a little bit deeper. So just notice that the body is leaning forward. So we want to keep the shoulders on top of the hips there, even though we're sending that front knee down. Beautiful, right palm flicks up and then all the way up and back. So just let that back arm stretch down towards the outside of the leg. And we're going to straighten that front leg and tip-top the top arm straight up into our triangle. Here we go with the breath. So as you inhale, bend the knee. Right arm reaches up and back. Peaceful or reverse warrior. And exhale, we hinge forwards into our triangle. Lovely. So inhale, reaching up and back, bending that front knee. And exhale, straightening the legs. We're milling the arms, one up, one down. Last time, inhale. This time as we exhale, let's pause in that triangle. So again, you might have your hand on your thigh. You can get rid of that top arm. Or you might come down a little bit lower, or you might even bring the back of the hand on the inside of the leg. That's strong, so feel free to modify as you need to. Your body, your practice. Last little bit, we'll take an inhale. Option as you exhale to lengthen that top arm into extended triangle. So fingertips and hips stretching away. Keep the hips pressed forwards as you lengthen out through the side of the body. Lovely. Bend the front knee. Inhale back into your warrior two. And as you exhale, let's take a final tip-top of the hands down. Last twist with the right arm lifting. Got it right this time. Inhale. And exhale, bring the hands down. This time we'll step back into your downward facing dog. Widening your feet. Mat width apart. Lower down onto hands and knees, keeping those knees a little bit wider apart this time. And then just point your big toes towards one another. Find that lovely wide space between the knees as you ease into your child pose. If that's uncomfortable, then clearly bring your knees closer together. I'm going to take my elbows out to the side, stack my hands, and just rest my head on my hands there. Create that sense of space. Beautiful. We're going to find our way into Pigeon Pose. So if you know that Pigeon Pose lying on your front doesn't work for you, then I'll show you the option to come down onto your back. So if you want to lift your chest and have a little look, if you want to take Recline Pigeon on your back, you lie down, you hook your right ankle over your left knee. You can stay there, or you can hold behind that left thigh and bring the leg in, but we're trying to press the knee away, and then you'll simply swap sides. So if you want to lie down on your back, feel free to do that, and you'll have your right ankle over your left knee. If you're okay in Pigeon Pose today, let's start up in a downward dog. So if you're lying down, you've got your right ankle on left knee. If you're with me, we're going to take the right leg up and back, and then bring that right knee behind your right wrist. Bring that shin diagonally across the mat and ease your way down into that Pigeon Pose, sliding the left leg back behind you. Now, if this is really uncomfortable, you find that you're leaning into your right buttock, you can always pop a cushion onto your right bottom, or go with it and bend your back knee so you're in a deer pose. If you're with me, take a little moment to get nice and comfortable. We're aiming to bring the hips square to the front of the mat. Check that that back leg is in line with your hip. And then lift your chest as you inhale. And as you exhale, come down maybe onto your forearms. You can always reach the arms out in front of you. If you're lying down on your back with your right ankle over your left knee, you can always rock from side to side. You can press the knee away from you, or you can hold on around the back of that left thigh and bring the leg in a little closer. Can you ease your way into your pigeon pose? If you're down on your forearms, just let your head go. Pigeon is a tough pose. It can bring up a lot of stuff. It works into our hips. And if you want to have a little play with me on your front in pigeon, then have a little look, and maybe you want to join me. So just lift yourself up onto your forearms. You're going to bend your left arm so your left hand holds your right knee. You're going to come into a little twist. So start to take that right arm out to the side, and maybe you can place it onto your low back. Now pull against the knee and see if you can spin your chest around to the right. And some of you who are very open, this right hand might be able to take hold of the right foot, not the left foot, the right foot that's tucked underneath you. It's like a game of yoga twister, isn't it? Slowly release. If you're lying on your back, give both knees a hug and then swap sides. If you're on your chest, come up onto your hands, tuck your back foot under and take a downward dog, or come onto all fours. Maybe have a little swing of the hips, and we'll try that on the other side. So if you're lying on your back, left ankle on right knee. You're joining me in pigeon on our fronts, left leg lifts. Bend the knee, bring the knee behind your left wrist, angle that shin diagonally across your mat, and then slide the right leg back. Go ahead and bend both knees deeply, coming up into deer pose if that works for you. Or checking that that back leg, that right leg, is in line with the hip. Come onto your hands as you inhale, and exhale, melt the chest down. Bring onto your forearms, letting the head hang. And so whether we're lying on our back or with our face towards the floor, it really doesn't matter. It's the same principle of trying to open into the hip. If you're lying on your back, you can gather the hands around the back of that right thigh, bring the legs a little closer in towards you. Or simply press that left knee away from you, maybe even just rock from buttock to buttock, rock from side to side. If you're facing the floor in pigeon, you want that little twist. This time you bend your right elbow, so right hand holds left knee. You turn your chest towards the left, and see if you can bring that left hand to rest on your low back. Pull against the knee and see if you can turn your chest to the left. You might be able to see a little bit better this time. Those of you who are really open, your left hand might catch hold of your left foot, not the foot at the back of the mat, the foot that's underneath you. It's all good fun. Have you missed me? Good job, you're all on mute today. Slowly release. If you're lying on your back, slowly roll up to seated. If you're facing the floor, come up onto your hands, lean into that left buttock, and we'll all meet with the legs swished out in front of you. Oh, have a little shake of the legs. And just slide the flesh of the sit bones out from underneath you so you've got a good point of contact on the floor. You're going to reach both arms up, take an inhale. And a nice generous forward fold as you exhale. You might find your feet. You might just want to bend up your knees and hold underneath your thighs for a more restorative and back-friendly version there. So finding that forward fold, easing your way down over the legs, stretching out through the back seam of the body there. Lovely. So we've stretched the back of the body as you roll your way up. Let's go ahead and stretch the front of the body now by bending the knees. Bring your feet to where your knees roughly were. Hands come behind you. Again, just angle your fingers to wherever it feels comfortable. Press into your hands and again, wave some length through your chest. So you're not disappearing into your shoulders. We can flick the gaze up. We can stay there. Or keep all 10 toes connected to the floor as you slide your bottom to your heels and lift up into an upward facing plank. You can always walk your feet a little further away from you if you need a little bit less. Gazing up rather than back. Take an inhale. Exhale as you lower yourself down. Cross one ankle in front of the other. And again, a big hug in. Well done, team. And then from there, uncross the legs. Find your way back down onto your back. And take a moment in that delicious full body stretch again. How does that feel at the end of a practice as opposed to the beginning? Maybe you notice a little bit more space. Maybe you unwrapped or unravel a little bit of tension. Let's go ahead and bring that right knee up and in towards your chest again. And again, that little squeeze and release. Squeeze and release a few times. Lovely. And then this time we'll interlace the hands around the back of the leg. You can just take the leg up towards the ceiling. If it's too much for the other leg straight, then simply bend your knee. If you've got both legs extended, really energize through the heels. So all 10 toes are pulling back towards your face. Option to walk your hands up the right leg, avoiding the knee joint and bring your nose towards your knee. Keep that left heel anchored down today as you stretch up through the hamstrings. Lovely. Let's roll our way down, bringing the right knee back in towards your chest. Left hand on the right knee. Let's come back into that twist. And maybe, again, this feels a little bit different. Oh, my back, getting a nice click there, something released. Lovely. Rolling onto your back. Come back into that full body stretch momentarily. Oh, a little wiggle, a little jiggle there. And again, the left knee up this time. Again, go ahead and squeeze and release the knee a few times there. Lovely. And then holding on around the back of the leg, hamstring stretch, up towards the sky. Really relax the shoulders there, the upper body, bend up the other leg if you need to. If you've got both legs extended, remember all 10 toes are pulling towards your face, both legs nice and active. Option, slide the hands up the leg, so avoid the knee joint as you lift your nose towards your knee, rounding the upper back. Keep that right heel grounded down today. And then we'll roll our way back down, bringing the knee in towards the chest. Right hand on left knee this time. Let's come back into that little twist. Ooh, how does that feel now? Lovely. And then rolling onto your back. Keep that knee gathered up towards your chest and bring the other one to join it. So widen your knees, but keep the big toes pointing towards each other. They might touch, they might not. And then sliding the hands down the shins. They might reach mid-shin. You might be able to get down towards the top of the ankle. And really kind of press your lower back down towards the mat. So tailbone's probably lifted a little bit. See if you can lengthen the lower back away from you as you gently bring the heels down towards your bottom. Knees are wide. So we're trying to stretch out and release some of the muscles of the low back. And again, for most of us, they get very tight. So the fact that you're not able to bring your lower back down to the floor is nothing unusual. And there's certainly nothing to worry about. But that's hopefully in time what we're aiming to do. Lovely. Slowly release. Bring the hands to the outside of the knees so you can bring your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock, have a little circle there. Lovely. And then bring those knees in towards your chest. And last time to round your nose towards your knees. And maybe notice, maybe throughout the practice, you've got a little bit closer each time towards your knees. Maybe you give your knees a little kiss. And then lower your head, lower your shoulders. Have a little roll across the back of the head now. So just release any tension. And then head coming to stillness. Let go of your knees, let your feet fall either feet wide, knees resting against each other. Or go ahead and stretch the legs out in front of you. You're stretching the legs out about hip width apart with the feet, and have a little playful roll across your heels to relax your ankles. And then just let your toes flop out to the side. If you can, rest the back of the hands on the floor with the palms up towards the sky. That's a lovely one to relax the shoulders, but if that's a little bit tight on the shoulders today, then just rest on the blades of the little fingers so your palms face towards your thighs. Closing the eyes, take a nice deep breath in through the nose. There's no one to hear you, so feel free to sigh or yawn the out breath out. Maybe do that a couple of times. It's a really nice release for the body, just that physical release of breath. Sometimes that sigh just is that final letting go. And then see if you can find that moment of stillness. No one can see their reflection in running water. It's only in still water that we can see. We might not always like what we can see. When we learn to quiet the mind, we can at least begin to find some clarity. Maybe it's a problem, maybe it's something that's been on our mind. And sometimes by resting in stillness, the answers just bubble up. And taking a moment now to allow the body to rest and digest the effects of the physical practice. Letting the breath settle. And using every exhale as an opportunity just to let go of something somewhere. It might be physical, it might be emotional. When you're ready to begin to deepen both the inhale and the exhale, feel free to do so. Hopefully feeling a little bit more connected to yourself, ready to face the rest of the day with a smile. So as you gently bring some movement back into your body, a wiggle of fingers and toes, or again, a nice little rock across the back of the head there, stretching into the side of the neck. Maybe you want one last delicious full body stretch. Oh, maybe a high yawn. Oh, there's no one there to hear or see you, so do whatever crazy things you want to do. Within limits, obviously. And then slowly lower your arms, walk your feet back in and give your knees one last big loving squeeze. And then rolling wherever there's space, either to your right side or to your left side. And then find your way to seated. Take your time, no rush. And when you're in that comfortable seated position, we've got that lovely balance across your sit bones. Again, feeling free to prop yourself up on something if you need to. Beautiful. Let's take the arms all the way out and up, gathering. A beautiful inhale as you lengthen through the side of the body. And as you exhale, bring the hands down to your heart, your chin to your chest. And just thanking one another for sharing your practice. Be it live or remote, we've all done it together. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. So the podcast was on the happy pair. And next week's class is based on last week's interview. So if you want to get ahead, have a little listen.